use the other sources, but it's one is your main talk about. Is that what that means?
You don't have to have a main source necessarily.
No. What's
you
that
have a topic.
No. What's that? And you should find one on your own.
Yeah. That means you're gonna go independently and you're gonna go research whatever she's talking about. So let's say if you went to Google, although you can't necessarily use Google as a prime source, that would, even though it is a search mechanism, you would go to the actual information and you would cite that. A lot of times what helps is to have like sort of like a bibliography where you can list that person's name, the date, the time, if they have phone numbers or email addresses, you can add that also. But you need to actually nail it down to a primary something, or this is the person where this information got it from. You want to be as reductive as you can.
Okay. Right now it's maybe it's a little more. I don't know how. Okay, actually. Here, right, this mean is users resources is like it's a work site.
A worksite? Worksite?
Worksite?
I've never heard of
it. It means like bibliography.
A bibliography,
Oh yeah,
okay.
that's the same thing. It means like when you write this article, so after that, you will write like a bibliography list 3 sources. That's what that means?
Yeah, you should probably include the bibliography at the end.
I know about that. My questions, I still confused or don't understand. Maybe I'm kind of like stupid about that.
No, you're not stupid.
It's like, I will write it right now, write the research paper. And I will use the Turco, so her talk like what a long, we connect about the long. So I will talk about because this research paper, you can't talk about too much your idea. You need to say what she's.
You could do it in a conclusion. If you have a conclusion, or if you're trying to make a point about something, you can actually do that.
I know.
You have to go with that first. It's like a whole system of methodology.
Listen. I know. It doesn't mean you can't say you see that's. But the main thing is you need to say that you research what what her talk about, what that for, and. In the article, you should mention the resource.
Everything that you're going to be writing about, if it comes from somewhere, you need to either you cite it. You can use numbers, you can use stars, you can use little.
I know.
Footnotes
maybe I can't explain what I really my question. It's like. Why wrote the research paper? Why wrote her what her thinks? Should I, for example, I will use because what she said. I will use a quote from the other resource. That's what that mean.
What, to use her? If she's citing something, you would need to cite that also probably.
No. When I said the Sherry Turks said it's the little device. It's really kind of like a psychological power for the people that use and then I read and then I will find another. I will maybe use a quote from the quote.
Yeah.
Quote from this.
You can use quotes.
That's what the means you here. So you have the minimum 3 resource. At least I'd use 2 different her from her.
I guess you could.
No, not could or what this means. If this one.
No. If all of the quotes are coming from her, that's still one source.
Yeah, I understand this. Yeah, okay. Because that's what I thought is you should find one of this on your own. It's like. It's the 3 results. One is I will use.
Yeah, you can go and search for something. You can use search engines. You can use Yahoo or Google.
Yeah, I
you need
know
to find
those.
Okay, so what is it that you?
Yeah, that's why it just pissed. Maybe I can't just explain what I really need to answer. Say that your paper needs the minimum 3 resources, right? For example, 3 resources. Okay. This is our resource. Okay, I will see this what they talk about, and also this what she talk. What this talk about. This is 3. For example, 1, 2, 3 I use.
Why don't you ask Emily's
no.
husband or something? He might understand it. He can explain it to you in Chinese, so you can understand.
I even don't know how to explain in Chinese.
Okay.
Because it's English, I have to know So this is what I want to use. I research this resource of her. I will write something, but what that means other minimum 3 resource.
It means some other sources other than her. Where are you going to get your information from?
Yeah. Other than her, I still understand. I still can find, okay, this is different than her. That's
you can go to an encyclopedia. You can go to a book.
I know how to research. I know how to research. I find this. You don't have to already. I just research. That's enough. And means how do I use those other resource for my research paper.
When you're making your point, you talk about one, and you write about one, and then you write about another, and then you put your point together, and you make a cohesive point or case for something, or you come to a conclusion.
Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, my research paper is this, right? I will write, okay, I have 3 resources. Okay, I will write, okay, I find the Robin and the happiness, I will write what he talked about. And then I will write this guy, the Facebook makes them happy,
Okay.
And then I will write the Sherry Turk, That's things I.
That's 3 sources right there. That's another source. That's 4 sources.
I don't. You just want.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Now you can go find your own independent one that she didn't write about. That's not on the paper. That's from another place that you can incorporate with what you're writing about. Like, for example, if Michio Kaku wrote something, or who do you like in the media who talks about stuff? Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know. They're not psychologists, though. But if somebody's making a point about something, I mean, if you want to throw in Shakespeare, you could do that, except I don't think you read Shakespeare. You have a Chinese source that might have something to do with that. You could write a Chinese source in there. It is up to you. It means you have the freedom to make your own point instead of just what's given to you. It's because they're trying to help you to think on your own, to think outside of it. So you can either make a for or against or whatever. Understand? Like, for example, are these the only people that write about this topic?
I'm sorry?
Are these the only people who write about this topic? Aren't there other people who talk about this or write about this in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you go and find that? You type in keywords into like a search engine, or you go into an encyclopedia and you look up an encyclopedia or something. You try and trace it back and be reductive until you get to the
It's more making me confused.
Sources.
I don't know how to write this paper. Your paper needs the medium of the 3 resource. And you should find one of these on your own. Means this, I need the 3 resources from this gift to me.
From what I'm looking, from what it sounds like what you're saying, is that you can pick some from here, and maybe her or whatever. You said you wanted to use her, Sherry Turkle, right? You could use that, but then you have to go and find your own one that they did not give you. That's similar to that or against it or whatever.
Okay. If I find one, what's the main thing that I will talk on my paper?
Okay, what do you want to talk about on the paper? What is your point? What do you want to express?
Right now, I already started to write it like a Turkish said.
Okay, so are you going with what she said? Do you agree with her or no?
I agree.
Okay, if you agree with her, you need to write first about what she's saying, and explain what that means.
Yeah.
Explain that, and then if there's other sources, you can put them together and also explain those. And then if you have a conclusion about why you agree or whatever, or some other new version of it, you can make that point at the end. That would be like your conclusion. So you would just put that all together.
Yeah, how about they said you have to find your own?
You just go find it. You just go pick one.
Well, how I can't write on the paper?
Write it on the paper?
Yeah, you said I already choose her. Why should I find my own? Oh.
Because you need a different one. Because if somebody is making a point with what she's saying, I mean, like you could use a movie if you wanted, because it's art imitating life or something, like Fight Club or something.
Okay. Okay.
Does it remind you of anything? I mean, does it remind you of like the Matrix or something? You don't have to use science, even though you're supposed to. But for example, like with art and artistic expression, a lot of times they're expressing an idea. They're making a point about something, whether it's science fiction, movies, whatever art. You know, there is also social commentary because they're commenting on da da da. It could make other points like that as well.
It's like that. So I use the because right now I talk about, I agree about her. What she talks, she wrote whatever, and then this resource means like you have to show your paper this resource, maybe like a quotations, whatever you have to show because you use that.
Yeah, but if you're quoting the same person over and over, that's only one source.
Yeah, I understand this. Okay. I understand. It means like why talk because her talk those is my thesis, right? I agree about that. It's my thesis, and then why within in the paper, the same time I want to support the thesis. So may I use that's called I have to use the research I choose, right? On the of course quotation.
Yeah, you
because
would include
bibliography
you can have like a glossary
because
anything
if I'm not mentioned in my paper, I put those resources on my bibliography. It doesn't make any sense.
There's many different ways that you could actually organize a paper because you could actually choose the format of how you're going to write something because you could actually choose a topic and go to each topic and be like, oh, this person's take on this idea, that person's take on that idea, da, 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 instead of just making one whole thing and then like citing them within your point. Like there's many styles of ways to write.
Of course, I can't read the whole book because it's just I will research what he said. I will find maybe a quote to support my thesis. It means like you need to find one by your own to put on your bibliography. That's what it means. We showed right here. She wrote like the three sources and should find another one your own. Means that actually that's a four sources is on the bibliography. Also need to mention maybe a quotation in your paper. Is that
you could? You don't necessarily have to unless it says you have to. You don't have to use quotes if you don't want to.
If I don't, why you are put that?
You can paraphrase somebody and say, well, this idea that I'm writing about, like you put a little parentheses and you write inside the parentheses, this is based on this person, da da da, and this is my source.
See? This means like you still need to put in your paper to mention that you use.
Yeah, if you don't want to use the quote, you don't have to use the specific quote. You can actually paraphrase. You can say something a lot like a shortened version or a condensed version of what somebody's point of or whatever they're trying to say.
Okay.
Is that better?
I hate this. I really don't like writing anymore.